Hello, parents. I'm so glad that you have joined in. Today, we are going to talk about how to teach your special needs child at home, especially if you were thrown into distance learning and you are not a teacher. So here are 10 tips to help you teach your child at home, which will make your life a little bit easier. So go ahead and get a pen and a piece of paper and meet me back here because these tips are sure to help. Okay, tip number 1. Now, the first tip is going to be a pre-tip to the real tip that I'm going to talk about later on. So the first tip is make sure you have all of the things that you need to buy to help make your teaching experience better. And we will get into what you should purchase as a parent with a special needs child when you have to teach them at home. So make sure you have the right resources and supplies that you need to purchase before attempting to teach. First tip, because that was a pre-tip, but the first tip is using lots of singing and music and movement when you are teaching. You cannot use the traditional style of teaching with special needs children, especially if they are severely special needs children. So you must be able to think out the box, use creativity, use lots of singing, use lots of movement, make up songs with whatever lesson or concept that you are trying to teach them. I have taught autistic children, and I've taught children with Asperger's, you name it, ADHD, ADD. And let me tell you, when you teach in a different manner, it's called differentiated teaching, they need that. They have to be taught differently to help make sure that they have academic success. So it's just a given. But when you incorporate the singing and the music and the meditation, it really, really helps, and they end up enjoying their educational learning experience as well. Tip number 2, manipulatives and toys. This is a biggie to that pre-tip that I was talking about. You must make sure you have the right manipulatives and toys to support their learning. So this means going out and yes, maybe on Amazon and purchasing, or some other platform or a store, and purchasing what they need that will help them learn. You know the diagnosis of your child, so doing that little bit of research on what you should buy to help support their learning is very important. Now, you might say, well, what do we buy? What do I research? What do I even Google to figure out what to research? Well, you can buy them sensory toys. You can Google in sensory toys, and you can browse through those sensory toys, and you'll be able to figure out what may work best with your child. Talking cubes, visual aids, chewable toys. When it comes to seating, positioning chairs, the wiggle, there's a wiggle cushion that you can get if they wiggle a lot. Just knowing what to buy and knowing those manipulatives that you will need. A lot of times special needs children bite, so you need to really look into those chewable toys. So they might have a habit of biting their wrist or biting their finger. Well, get a chewable toy that fits on their wrist, and fits on their finger, and let them bite on that. Here's a great thing. A great purchase is purchasing a break box. A break box. That means, tip number 3, they need to take a lot of breaks. When you're dealing with special education, children cannot sit for a long time on a concept. So you really need to think primary. You need to think preschool. You need to think TK, that's pretty much about the same amount of time that a special ed child can sit, or a special needs child can sit and really be focused. So you're looking at 5 to 10 minute lessons. Give them a break. Let them stretch. Go on Go Noodle. Do some type of movement there. Okay? Just maybe have a meditation for another 5 or 10 minutes, but they need their breaks. Or use your break box. A break box has items that you know that your child loves, and say, okay, you did an excellent job with the lesson. Here's your break box. Set the timer. You have X amount of time to be able to plunder through and enjoy your break box. So breaking and resting is very important. The next tip is having the right supplies to support their lessons. So everything is tactical and touching with special ed and special needs children. So make sure that you incorporate sand, kinetic sand, painting, rice, shaving cream to help support their learning so that they can touch and feel and use tactical learning a lot when they are doing their lessons. They need that to be able to really be able to master that lesson from time to time, and most of the time. The next tip, let's keep it moving, is praise. Please make sure you are giving your special needs child lots of praise. Your child needs to hear that they are awesome, that they are amazing. Give them a special cuddle hug when they are doing something right, and encouraging them so that they will keep on going, and that they will make the time frame of that lesson and want to keep being excited about coming back to the learning table with you, back to the learning circle. That praise is really important. Okay, next is keeping a schedule. So every child that I have taught in regards to special education, you must have a schedule. This is not a small schedule, but a large visual schedule, colorful, and you can use cutout objects that look like a character, a monster, an animal, a piece of fruit, and you have nice large visual writing or typed out writing of what they're going to do from hour to hour, minute to minute, and you help them move that object or character down to what's next. Most of the time, after a while, they will know what's coming next, and they will let you know as well. Next is eat. Snacks. They need to eat. They need to have their snacks. Otherwise, they will get irritated. So please make sure that you schedule out enough of space and enough time where they can eat, snack, and drink. The next tip is outside play or outside walks. Even if they're in a wheelchair, they need to go out and embrace nature and look at the sky and talk about the sky and the clouds and the trees, and just have fun conversations and friendly conversations and peaceful walks and talks. Communication is still very important for your child. So make sure that you develop that beautiful bond of outside play and outside walking, and if you have other friends that they can play with, or they have other friends in the neighborhood or a designated place where you go to meet up with other homeschooling parents that they can play with, that's important as well. They don't all have to be special needs kids with special needs kids. They need to integrate, and they need to be able to talk and mingle and explore with all kids. I know that this is a COVID-19 time, so right now, just with their brothers and sisters and you as their parents, that is a momentary time that you can go out for walks right now in a safe manner. Okay, the next tip is music. I know I talked about singing and movement, but this is strategic music. This is meditation music. Having soft music playing in the background while you're teaching helps. Here is another important tip, and then we're going to close. Please do not get frustrated. You're not going to be a master at this the first day, the second day, maybe not even the first week. Remember, when it gets overwhelming, stop. It's okay to stop and say, okay, we only were able to learn for an hour today. Tomorrow we're going to try for an hour and a half. Okay, we only made it 2 hours today. But remember, they do not need to be sitting there for 6, 7, 8 hours. This is not what they're going to do. There is a lot of movement involved. So I'm hoping that these tips, these are quick tips, that will help you out. The very last tip is smile, laugh, enjoy your child, enjoy your family, enjoy the ability to have a child and be able to teach them. And remember, it's rewarding to sow into the life of another human being. It's not meant for you to get frustrated or upset or angry. It is an honor to be able to sow into the life and mold and guide the life of another human being. That is your greatest reward in life. Until next time, please tune back in and I'll have another awesome tip or tips for you. I hope this was very helpful. Goodbye.